Hi, good life family. What's good? And welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to a new video and a new movie review. I am going to be reviewing Sonia Uche's new movie titled Play. This movie stars Timini, Egbuson, Sonia, Uche, Thelma, Nwosu, Chisom, Agoawuike, and of course some other talented actors and actresses. And please, before we proceed to go into the movie review proper, do want to help this channel grow by giving this video a thumbs up. Click on the subscribe button to get subscribed to this channel if you aren't already subscribed to this channel. I make awesome reviews on YouTube, Nollywood movies on this space. I do amazing and insightful story times as well as other interesting content. So if any of that sounds like your vibe, please help this channel grow by clicking the subscribe button, turning on your notifications to get notified whenever I put out new awesome and amazing content like this. And all of that being said, let's get into the main review of the movie. The movie is a typical case of when a player gets played and beat properly at his own game. In this movie, we find Timini Egbuson in his bad boy element, practically enjoying himself while he portrays the character named Jamil in this movie, who is basically a young man who gets into relationships with women, blackmails them and extorts money from them, and that's basically what he does for a living. In the movie, we can also see that he has a relationship with a not so sophisticated village girl named Simi, and the character of Simi is portrayed by Sonia Uche herself. It's quite apparent from this movie that they have been together in a relationship for what seems to be 10 years based on the story that was told by Simi herself. And Jamil is basically in the city living large and scamming girls of their money and making it big, while his girlfriend is somewhere in the village. Anyway, Jamil, in his game of scamming people as always, finally meets his Waterloo in the form of a young billionaire heiress. Her name is Jessica, and the character of Jessica is portrayed by Chisom Agoawuike. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. So Jamil meets this young lady and intends to make her his next target, as that is basically what he does for a living. But he doesn't know that this particular operation would most likely be his last ever operation with regards to this particular line of business. Jamil basically goes after young women that are financially stable. He, goes all lovey-dovey on them, gets into a relationship, and along the line, he starts to blackmail them with things like their nude, videos or pictures that he secretly takes of them, and starts to blackmail them with these obscene images or videos of them and extorts money from them, and basically comes and gives them one stupid story of it is not you, it is me, yada yada yada, and so on and so forth, and they end up breaking up. That's basically what Jamil does. And then now it is not his intention to do the same thing with this particular young lady, but then he doesn't know that power they pass power. Anyway, to keep this review short and simple and to cut the long story short, after Jamil meets the billionaire heiress named Jessica with his intentions to of course take advantage of her, as is his stock in trade in this particular movie, unknown to him that Jessica's mom is not anybody to be messed with. Jessica's mom does some little digging here and there. She finds out about his past and boom, she explodes and bursts his bubble, and all of his life's work made out of scamming young innocent women of their money, every single thing just comes crashing down before his face. Now let's proceed to talk about the things that I like a lot about this particular movie. First of all, I want to say that this movie was actually a very creative one. I was actually impressed, watching this movie. I was, and I still am actually impressed. I mean, like, Sonia Uche always comes up with new ways to bust my head on a daily basis, because I can't even lie, this particular movie, Sonia Uche did her thing and she busted my head. The story is by her, by the way, and this movie is directed by Great Val Edochie, and we all know that Great Val Edochie is he's a good movie director. I really love the creativity and the intentionality that was put into this particular movie. I mean, in the current YouTube society where people are just basically releasing movies these days just for the numbers and to make their money, and a lot of good quality movies are not really put out on this space. We have to give, honor to whom honor is due. We have to commend people like Sonia Uche, when they come up with movies like this that are actually very interesting. I found this movie to be very interesting. I found it to be very entertaining. I also found it to be a little bit educating, and that depends on the aspect and the angle that you want to look at it from. I love that this movie was not predictable. I mean, I was, starting to think of a lot of ways that this movie would have gone down. The flow of the story beats my overall imagination. Like, I wasn't really expecting what happened. So let me now go into talk about the individual performances of the actors and the actresses in this film. Timini Egbuson in his role as Jamil, the scammer, the playboy. In this particular movie, you could tell from Timini's acting, from the way he carried himself, from his, the kind of energy that was flowing out of him, that he was obviously enjoying his role in this movie. He was happy to be there. Timini Egbuson was basically just in his elements in this movie, because if you know, Timini does very, very well in playing, like the lover boy, playboy role, and he does it effortlessly. I personally loved watching Timini in this particular movie because you could tell that he was enjoying this role, he was enjoying himself. He basically understood the assignment, he was fully in his element, and he was bringing in his A game, and that was like just so beautiful to watch. The person that blew my mind the most in this particular movie has to be Sonia Uche. Every single day I see Sonia Uche on the set of any movie, it's always a new opportunity for Sonia Uche to bust my head and show me how much of a fantastic actress she actually is all over again. Sonia Uche in this movie played the role of Simi, who is an illiterate Yoruba girl, the illiterate Yoruba girlfriend of Jamil, who he abandoned in the village to come to the city and be playing scammer and playboy in the city. And to be very honest, first of all, before I talk about Sonia Uche's performance, I want to really comment on the makeup they did for Sonia Uche. The travel marks, they looked very, very real. Whoever did that deserves some thumbs up because they did some fantastic job there. Now, let me now talk about Sonia Uche in her act as Simi in this movie. First of all, Sonia Uche did so commendably well in, pulling off that Yoruba accent and not actually, going to break character at any point in time in this movie. In as much as her Yoruba accent was not 100% perfect, but I mean, she did really good. She did really, really good. Like, I've expected a lot of things from Sonia Uche with regards to acting. But then coming out to come and play the role of an illiterate Yoruba woman, not a lot of people that are not Yoruba can actually nail that. And I don't know if she actually does speak Yoruba, but then if she learns those little bit of Yoruba that she was spitting here and there in this movie, just for the sake of this film, I mean, if that's not talent, then tell me what it is. It is always Sonia Uche's dedication to her craft for me. You can always see from the way she pulls off her roles, the way she nails her roles, that she's such a very fantastic and versatile actress, and she's very creative, right? I really loved watching Sonia Uche in her role in this movie. She was so hilarious to watch. I was laughing a lot. Like, I actually laughed a lot more than I expected I would laugh in this particular movie. I love how well she and Timini brought so much, bubbly energy and, ginger, drama, vibes into the movie. It's really commendable, right? I think that they both did so perfectly well. They brought in their A game. You could tell they were enjoying the roles that they were playing, and they were basically just nailing all of their roles effortlessly. I think Sonia Uche did commendably well. I can't even lie. Another character that I actually enjoyed watching a lot in this movie was Jessica's mom, and the role of Jessica's mom is played by the actress Thelma Nwosu. And I think that woman was really in her own element in this particular role. First of all, I cannot help but point out the fact that I noticed that there was something creepy about this woman from the onset. The whole idea of her being in a wheelchair, the unnecessary, seemingly nice smiles that she was always wearing on her face, her soft tone of voice, it was giving creepy, right? It was really giving creepy. I honestly thank God that the only thing that she did to Jamil in this movie was call the cops on him and threaten him that he was going to get arrested. Because let me just tell you, when I saw her in that wheelchair, the way she would always smile and act like she doesn't know what's up when she actually does know what is going on, I was thinking she was going to do something much worse to him. So we thank God for Jamil's life that Mama Jessica did not do anything worse than calling the cops on him. Because to be very honest and to be frank, he actually did deserve anything that he got, to be very honest. I really enjoyed watching her because she was very fluid in her acting, right? She was very fluid. Her acting was actually really quite impressive. I love how well she embodied this particular character. I love how well she brought the expectations that I have of this particular character of Jessica's mom to life. The character that I did not like in this particular movie has to be Richie. And when I say did not like, I don't mean I did not like the actor. I just did not like the character of Richie, and I'll say why. I did not like Richie because Richie kind of was given two-faced in this movie, because tell me how or tell me why he was the one gingering. He used to ginger his friend, in as much as he didn't send him, but he was gingering him. I mean, like, his friend promised him money. His friend promised him 10 million for one pharmaceutical whatever thing he wanted to do. If he was able to pull off on this deal with this girl, he was actually helping her out a lot. So at what point in time did he now become a saint, and he's not acting all so sainty around his friend? I mean, like, you guys were in this together. You guys have always been in this together. Whenever he goes out and he makes this money, he goes and he pops bottles, and both of you drink, you could do the jolly together. And then all of a sudden, you're turning your back. Like, all of a sudden, you're not coming out to not come and act and play the sense. I mean, come on now. Come on, brother Richie. Brother Richie, come on now. Come on. I know at the end of the day in the world, it's always like a situation of all man for himself. Don't go and follow somebody, or don't allow somebody to lead you into something, or don't allow somebody to ginger you into doing something, because at the end of the day, they can always decide to pull up. And that's just exactly what Richie did. When Richie now noticed that everything was now starting to look and seem fishy, he did what can easily be considered as the wise thing, which was carry his two legs and jump out of the situation before Jamil would drag him into something that he never ever planned to do. But I honestly didn't like how Richie was actually giving two-faced in this movie. But at the end of the day, everybody is like, there's always room for repentance, and everybody is allowed and permitted to repent whenever they feel like they're no longer comfortable within a particular thing. And to be very honest, I felt like Richie did not deserve to be with Simi, because Simi is obviously a very good woman. And let's not forget that Richie was actually part of the opinion that Simi should be sent back to the village. He was actually helping his friend because he needed 10 meters for his business. Now the castle don't bust, the bubble don't bust, and then you're not coming to now. I mean, please. I honestly didn't like Richie's character because of that, but then we can also forgive him, and let's just assume that he was trying to repent, so we can forgive him. But then the actor that played the role of Richie, I didn't quite catch his name, but then I think he did a good job. To be very honest, everybody in this movie came with their A game. Everybody in this movie came with the kind of energy that was required, and you could tell that there was awesome camaraderie between the actors in this particular movie. The flow of energy in all of the scenes was awesome, top notch, and there was no dull moment in this particular movie. Everybody was true to their roles. You could tell they were obviously enjoying being together with like each other, and they were enjoying the roles that they were playing. Even Chisom Agoawuike, in her role as Jessica, I think she also just did good. In this movie, she was supposed to be a calm, collected, very put together, well composed billionaire heiress or young lady, and that's basically just all that she did. You didn't at any point in time find her doing too much or trying to be unnecessarily funny in the movie, and that's just one thing that I really liked about her act in this movie. I love how everybody's look was in touch with the role that they were playing in this movie. One thing I like about Sonia Uche is the fact that she just knows when to wear makeup and the kind of makeup that is required for each character in a movie, right? You won't ever catch her in any movie where the characters or the actors in the movie are wearing unnecessary heavy makeup, right? Every single time, the actors are made up to fit the particular role that they are playing. When it's time for them to go to bed at night, everybody takes off their makeup, or at least wears like very subtle makeup that can easily be, assumed to be their natural face. And it's really commendable. That's one thing I like about Sonia Uche's movies. And overall, I want to say that I really love the effort that I see Sonia Uche putting into making good quality movies for us here on YouTube. I've watched a couple of her movies of recent, and I really haven't had anything negative to say. One thing I noticed about Sonia Uche's movies is that I highly recommend it. Although the movie has been out for a long time, I think I'm one of the latecomers to the club. But if you haven't seen it by this time, if you're like me and you have not seen the movie, please do go to go and check it out. And you take my word for it, the movie is actually nice. It's a very interesting one. You would laugh, you would learn, you would be entertained. And for a rating, I think this movie deserves a 6.5 over 10, or let me say 7 over 10. 7 over 10 because it's actually a good movie. I can't even lie. Like, the movie was actually interesting. It was entertaining. It beats my expectations. I mean, like, it's not necessarily the best movie in the world or the best movie in the in the Nollywood space right now, but like, it's a very good one. It's a solid watch. It's a movie that you would not regret watching, because there's no minute of boredom. There's no dull moments in this particular movie. So I guarantee you that if you watch this movie, you would enjoy it and you'll be happy that you watched it. So I think a 7/10 is a fair rating. Let me know how you'd rate this movie. Let me know what you think about this particular movie in the comment section, and I'll be in the comment section reading and replying to all of your comments. And that being said, we have gladly and successfully come to the end of this particular video, this particular movie review. Thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you so much for spending time with me. If you're still watching up until this point and you're yet to subscribe to the channel, please do well to do so by clicking the subscribe button to get subscribed to the channel and join the Good Life family. Click on the bell icon that pops up after you subscribe to get notified whenever I put out new awesome and amazing content like this. On this channel, I make awesome movie reviews, wonderful and amazing insightful story times, and other fun and amazing stuff. Until I come again to your screen next time, I remain your girl, Mimi Nasike. Thank you so very much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all dearly, and God bless you. Bye.